you mentioned it, but we didn't talk too much about it. But anxiety and depression.
Yeah.
So like, the very first question I'm going to start us off is, do you have anxiety and depression?
Yes, man. Yes. Big time. And what I found is that it manifests itself differently for different people. I've found that if I had a whiteboard, I would draw it out for you. Cause like I've been, I go to a psychiatrist. I don't have a psychologist right now, but I have in the past.
Mm-hmm.
And that's another thing. Everybody needs like a counselor,
Yeah.
like someone they can talk to about like really hard, really deep stuff. Because everybody struggles mentally.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, it makes sense to go to the doctor when you're sick physically, but what about when you're sick mentally?
Mm-hmm.
It's just a normal part of our human condition. But for some reason, we don't really spend as much time taking care of ourselves mentally.
Yeah, no, totally agree. And that's on the ball. That I didn't even think I've ever even putting that way, but you're right. There are times when you're mentally just in a rough place, especially like, if losing of jobs or someone passing away. Those are very hard. I haven't witnessed depression very much, praise God, but anxiety I have, and more so like it was something that was, now I can see a lot of my childhood kind of coming back and things like that, the basic things. But when I noticed it was, a couple events happened in my life, and just within the last, 4 or 5 years. But I mean, it used to be this guy that was like, get up on a dance stage and would just win over a crowd and just dance
I saw
and
you.
perform. You see me perform?
I've seen you perform, man.
Dude.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. You see what I'm saying? Like, it was like all the energy, but through a couple of things and all this kind of stuff, I got to a point where anxiety was not really taking over. And it got to a point where, even to this day, where it's like, I'll go to a store and it's like, especially like Black Friday and these things, like I feel like I can handle it, and I always screw myself because I go and then I'm just like, I'll have to like go outside, wait in the car, like let the fiance do her thing, and then kind of thing. Because it is, my anxiety is more, it's just people. And it's not even just random people, it's family. Like I can go to a family thing and there'll be just 30 family members, and there'll be so much talking and yelling and people moving and throwing and talking. It's so much. And I'm just like kind of in the corner trying to be quiet. And then your family's like, why aren't you talking to us? You don't like us anymore? I'm like, oh man. And then your anxiety doubles,
man.
and you're just like, oh
Yeah.
no, I'm not because I don't like you guys. Like, you're my family. It's just,
They don't know what's going on inside your mind.
Exactly.
Man.
And that's definitely what I come to, is talking. I've been telling more and more family, and just kind of like, this is how I'm feeling, just so this is why I'm acting this way, especially like my mom and people, so they can kind of adjust to that, I guess, a little bit. I'm not trying to like ruin the mood with all the family, but
right.
It's a really tricky line,
Yeah.
But yeah, so have you found, so you mentioned, visiting the counselors and people, do you take any kind of medication?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Is doctor prescribed or over the counter?
Well,
I don't mean like, are
is
you
it
taking,
like illegal?
Sorry, no, I don't mean the illegal stuff. The reason this
Do you smoke a little Mary Jane? Are you gonna admit this on camera?
No, do not. No, oh Lord. This is
That's what it sounded like. I'm just messing with you, but like that's what it's.
I was like, oh wait a minute, did I just ask if he smokes weed? Oh my Lord, I'm sorry.
No, like I hear you. So I take antidepressant. I take anti-anxiety. It kind of like it's crazy, man. Like, so for people who've been in this situation, you go to your psychiatrist and you sit down and you talk to them and you tell them what's going on in your mind and with your body and stuff and how you're feeling. And then it's like, all right, let's experiment on you.
Yeah.
And they give you a medication and they make their best educated guess. And some medications work, some don't work.
So you adjust.
Some make you worse.
Oh yeah.
And my wife keeps calling me. I want I'm gonna debut my wife on the podcast. Hey babe, you're live on the podcast. Hold on. How are you?
I'm doing so great.
Nice. We're just getting into like a really serious topic about anxiety and depression, and so, but I wanted to feature you on the podcast because I love you.
I love you too.
We're almost done.
I'll call you back here in a minute, okay?
Okay, bye.
Bye. I just felt bad because like I know she'll worry about me, like because the roads are icy and stuff.
Definitely
so.
Definitely answer.
Yeah. But so the doctors kind of experiment on you, and if you do it long, if you go to the doctor long enough, it can make you feel like you're a science experiment.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that didn't work. Let's try another pill. Let's see what this does to you.
You have to adjust.
It's like, oh yeah, let's try this out. I have no idea if this is gonna make you like gain like 100 pounds in just a few months. I have no idea if this is gonna make you not be able to sleep for several days in a row. I have no idea if this is gonna do, all of the like thousands of side effects that are listed. But let's try it. Like, just do it.
Yeah, you have to go back and
like,
forth. So how long did you start taking pills prescribed by your doctor?
So it's been several years.
So do you think this is really important question for me and most likely others, but do you think you're at a point now that you know what pills work and you're feeling pretty good, or?
Yeah, so thank goodness, after feeling like a lab rat,
right.
My doctors and I found kind of like a concoction of stuff that seems to work for me.
Perfect.
And basically what medicine does is it levels the playing field.
Right.
So for someone who doesn't struggle with any type of
mental
illness or just mental whatever, stressors don't, like, they stress you out, but they don't like make you like
go into a deep place.
Yeah. And so basically taking medicine just levels the playing field, makes it even with other people.
Right. So yeah, I haven't been to, like I said, I don't have depression. I had a guest come on here and talk about anxiety, and we discussed, do you think it's possible, because honestly I'm curious, and I'm in a point with counselors and actual doctors and things, and kind of learning and growing with the subject as well. But do you think, and on an anxiety side, do you think it's possible to fix it mentally yourself, or do you think it is something that you can't? Like it is, you need medication, you need physical things to help you?
It's a mixture. It depends on the person. It depends on the stressor, and it depends on the type of medication.
Okay.
So, 100% changing your thoughts and exercising,
healthier
and
things,
eating right. 100% that makes you be in a better place mentally. Doing like the physical, taking care of your physical body will also help mentally. Exercise releases dopamine in your brain, which will make you feel better and will reduce anxiety. But there are some people, there are some situations where no matter what you do, it's not enough. And that's where hopefully that's where the medication comes in. Some people jump in too soon, where all they really need is just to exercise regularly.
And change some habits. Yeah.
Yeah. And then there's other people who jump in too late, where it's like, I've felt horrible for years. Like, I had no idea I could smile. Like, I had no idea I could be happy. I had no idea I could like go to family gatherings and like have a conversation with someone. Like,
that's awesome, man.
Like, for some people, it's just like, I remember, dude, I did a summer job in West Tennessee. in the Smoky Mountains I was a zip line tour guide.
Oh, cool.
And I remember I would jog. I would run a 5K every night. Not like every night, but like several nights a week. I was in like incredible shape back then.
Right.
So I remember I had just started a new medication and I was jogging and I saw the leaves on the tree and it was so beautiful. Like
Right.
it was so beautiful that I just started crying. I was like, I feel happy. And it wasn't like I was high.
Right.
It wasn't like I had just like smoked a
Mary
blunt
Jane.
and I was like, oh, it's so beautiful.
Oh,
but it was
gosh.
like I feel happy.
Right.
And it had been so long that I cried. I was like, dang, bro, I've been missing out on life.
Right.
If I like there's so much beauty around us. And I just like I cried, man.
That's awesome.